How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins, Media Corner, back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to the movie review, aka for our Saw review video for today. This time for this new episode for this series, this is going to be my review on the 2022 musical fantasy comedy film. And this film is based off the stage musical of the same name, and it's also based off the 1988 novel, which for that novel we did have a feature film adaptation of that novel before, which was released back in 1996. So this is the second film adaptation that's based off that novel as well. And as you guys can tell from the title of this video, of course, I'm here to review Matilda the musical. Now, this is directed by Warchus, who you may know him as the director of Pride, and this film is based off the stage musical of the same name, and this film is based off the 1988 novel known as Matilda, which was made by Roald Dahl. And for that novel, we did have a feature film adaptation of that before, which was released back in 1996 by Danny DeVito. So now we have a new film adaptation of that novel to the big screen, but this one, in this case, is based off the stage musical. And so the story of the film is that we follow this extraordinary girl named Matilda Wormwood, played by Alisha Weir, and she has a sharp mind and a vivid imagination, and she dares to take a stand by changing her story with miraculous results. So that's pretty much the story of Matilda the musical. Now, for the stage musical, I've never actually seen before, but for the book itself that this musical is based off here, I did grow up with that book as a kid, and along with like other Roald Dahl stories I did grow up with as well. Like I grew up with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Fantastic Mr. Fox, James and the Giant Peach, The Twits, and Danny the Champion of the World, and so many other stories. And when it comes to like Roald Dahl films that's based off his own books, I have grown up with some of them as well. Like I grew up with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Fantastic Mr. Fox, James and the Giant Peach, and so many others as well. But for the original Matilda film that came out back in 1996 by Danny DeVito, it was one of those films that people grew up with when they were kids. But for myself, I never really grew up with that film when I was a kid. But I did watch the film for the very first time, and I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was a great Roald Dahl movie, along with like other ones I considered great, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Fantastic Mr. Fox. But when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was actually looking forward to this film because it actually looked really amazing for what I saw from its own style and the way it was being made here. And I was really surprised with the small cast who were in this film here. Like you've got Lashana, Lynch, who you may know him from Captain Marvel and the most recent Bond film, No Time to Die. And you have Stephen Graham, which I always see him in a lot of things on either TV or movies, and I think he's a really great British actor. And you have Andrea, who I think she's a pretty talented actress as well. And you also have Emma Thompson, who's one of my favorite actresses. I think she's a really great actress, and she's also a talented writer as well. And as for the young star of the film, Alisha Weir, who plays Matilda Wormwood, this is actually her very first film here, and I was really intrigued to see what she was going to do here for her very first film film role here. And this film came out last year in November in my area, while this film came out back in December of last year on Netflix. But I went to see this film this film was released in cinemas in my area, and I went to see this film on opening day, which was on the 25th of November, in a really big screening. And there wasn't that many people in the screen that I was in, unfortunately. But after watching this whole movie here, I can definitely tell you guys that I had a great time with Matilda the musical here. This was overall a delightful watch here. And I can also say as well, it's definitely another really great musical I've seen of this decade here, since In the Heights and the West Side Story remake here. What I really liked in Matilda the musical was the songs, in which the songs here for this film that this film uses here, that's based off the original stage musical, were a lot of fun here. And I really loved all the songs here for this film. And as for the choreography as well, they were all amazing here, and they were captured so well done here by Warchus, who directed this film here. Like the direction here for this film feels like it has a lot of high energy to him, from being able to capture everything on camera for all the musical numbers here, from the songs to the choreography to the sets and the performances, in which all that here was absolutely wonderful here. And even for some directing moments where it has like no musical numbers to him, were also directed really well done here as well. Like when we get to see some moments in the film where we see Matilda telling us a story where it's basically about the acrobat and all that, and for that storyline, which all that here was directed so well done, and yet it was absolutely beautiful to look at. And as for the story for the film, it is still a timeless story here, since this film is based off the original storybook from Roald Dahl, as well as based off the 1996 Danny DeVito film here. Well, it does have some new stuff here that I've never seen before in the original film. And but for when it cuts to moments where we get to see like the acrobat storyline here, where we see Matilda telling us that story here, some of those moments do tend to drag on here, because this film is pretty long here. It's only an hour and 50. It is kind of nearly over long here, because it's only now in 57 minutes here, and I kind of wish it could have been cut off a little bit of its runtime here, which that's the only issue I only have with this film here. And as for the acting, everyone here were all fantastic here. Like Lashana Lynch as Miss Honey, I thought she was great in the film. Like, she brings a lot of joy to the film here, and she was really sweet in the film. And as for Stephen Graham and Andrea Riseborough, who play the parents in the film, they are really fun together in this film, and yeah, they are really over the top here as these two mean parents here. And Emma Thompson, who plays Miss Trunchbull, the evil headmaster that we all know from the book and the film and the original film, she was terrific in the film. Like, she manages to chew out every single scene here in this film, and I thought she really kicked out of the park for what she was given here for a character in this film. And as for her humor in the film that she provides in the film, they were mostly tongue-in-cheek here, and I thought she really did a good job for providing some of those moments here and there in this film. And as for the young star of the film, Alisha Weir as Matilda Wormwood, she was such a delight in the film, and I can't wait to see what else that she's going to do in the future here for when it comes to her as an actress, because she just manages to carry out this whole film here, and yeah, she really kicked out the park for the material that she was given for her character here in this film, and even her singing as well. When we get to see her in like musical numbers in the film, she was absolutely fantastic for those moments as well. So overall, in the end, guys, Matilda the musical, this was overall a wonderful musical here. And if you are a fan of the original stage musical, or if you're a fan of the original story by Roald Dahl, or you're a fan of like the 1996 Danny DeVito film or the cast, this is one you truly don't want to miss out for yourselves here. And if you do have Netflix, it is available to stream on Netflix for free. So that's pretty much all to say about Matilda the musical. I'm going to give Matilda the musical 4.5 out of 5. Yeah, like I said, this was indeed a delightful watch, yeah. And I can also say as well, it's definitely another great musical I've seen for this decade, along with In the Heights and the West Side Story remake here. And I can also say as well, it's definitely another great Roald Dahl film here I've seen in recent years since the ones I grew up with as a kid here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my A-After I Saw review on Matilda the musical. And let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked out this film. Did you have a really fun time with this, or was this not really a popcorn treat? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.